It's advertising in the 21st century, and how to be heard through the digital noise. Pretty amazing. For the web, there are about 132 million households in the United States. Of those, 100 million have access to the internet, about 80%, or 4 in 5, which is pretty amazing as well, and it's growing. You know, considering there's obviously other ways to get web, you know, library, schools, and whatnot as well. It's said that on any given day, the average person is exposed to 3,000 ads. 3,000 ads in one day. We don't even realize it, you know, I'm sure. But they're everywhere. So, you know, how do you differentiate yourself, basically? The big thing is only 14% of people trust advertisements. Let me say that again. Only 14% of people trust advertisements. So how do you cut through the digital noise? Whatever. But we have that now, and it's called the internet. We have a magic box. It's incredible. You ask it anything, and it'll tell you the answer. And so the internet gets bigger and includes more ideas all the time. And it means that customers now have the power to Google you in seconds and know about you. So people that go online, how do we feel? Users connect to people they know. They connect to friends, family, and millennials currently outnumber baby boomers. 96% of them have joined a social network. Wow. That's a lot. That's a lot of people. Millennials are like ages 25 to 34. So, how do you cut through the digital noise? Well, it happens to be about one word. So, what is that word? Trust. Trust. That's the word. It's the idea of word-of-mouth advertising taken to a new extreme. 68% trust online reviews. That is a big number. And then, you know, to this point, we mentioned of how many people have a website and such. 69% of people trust branded websites. So your own website, if they're looking for you, 69% trust those websites. That's higher than trust in TV, trust in newspaper ads, editorial content, billboards, ads on radio, emails they even signed up for, which is pretty amazing. 84% trust, and biggest one of all, 84% trust recommendations by people they know. All right, let me say that again. 84% trust recommendations by people they know. The internet is the largest word-of-mouth platform there ever were, there ever could be. People use it all the time to expand their brands, to build trust, and to talk to their customers. I've heard of it before, but Pinterest is an incredible platform for retail markets, photographers, designers, creatives, and it's great for helpful tips and advice. The audience is predominantly white females, aged 25 to 49, with relatively high disposable income, and Twitter has 560 million active users, and it's most popular in the United States. It's a great way to make easy conversations, quick replies, responses to people directly. Facebook is obviously a big one. The big one, I'd say. Facebook has 1.28 billion users and 15% growth year to year. That's a big statistic there. 25 to 34-year-olds are its highest market at 30% of the audience. And then, you know, you never really know who will use what network, so it's good to kind of diversify a little bit. Some people just talk on more, you know, places than others. Every time, that's your best opportunity when you have a client that did something, that liked what you did, say, please, I encourage you to, write a little helpful review for me. Or if they can't do that, maybe jot down a note from them, ask if you can put it on your website, at the very least. That helps you out a lot. Over here, so some of the great tools for business are apps that are interconnected. It's so easy now to get an app on your iPhone or Android. For Twitter has an app, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, LinkedIn, they all have apps. I recommend you get them and you use them because they make it a lot easier to share, to use things. You'll be more engaged in it because it's easier, it's cleaner to use. You'll post more and it'll work out better in the end. And also what's great is these different apps have abilities to interconnect. So for example, you could set up Pinterest. Like what I do is I set up Pinterest to be linked with my Facebook, which can be linked with a Facebook page. I can select Twitter, I can select Facebook, post, and it shoots out to all those different types of platforms, just with like one click. So with secrets here, some exceptional tools that I really like, maybe you've heard of some of them. One big one is MailChimp, is a great tool for email lists. And email lists are a great way to, spread your word, get the word out for customers. And MailChimp is a great tool. It's a free tool that allows you to create emails from templates that are already made, or you can make your own. Very easy, and you'll create beautiful emails that look really nice, that, when you send to people, they have higher engagement rates, higher click rates. And you can actually see from your list, which you can import from like Excel, basically your email list, pop it in there, and it'll tell you how many people opened it, how many people clicked on your links, some other things that are really helpful stats for you to know and improve how your email is. It also lets you put a little MailChimp sign up for this email list on your website, which is really neat and easy to do, very easy. Like I said, it's free up to, I think, maybe 10,000 emails, and then after that you pay. Another one that is pretty amazing, like I said, this idea of, not generating your own content is Twitter feed. Twitter feed is not just for Twitter, it's also for Facebook and LinkedIn. I recommend you have a Gmail account or sign up with Google if you don't. It just makes things a little easier for a lot of these tools and such. Google has Google Analytics and Google Webmaster Tools, which are great to add your website to. You can find out the keywords people are searching on your website very easily. It'll tell you, how many clicks you get, how many searches you get of those, which is very helpful. As well as Google AdWords is maybe a little more, I'd say it's more complicated, but it's worth mentioning. You can create ad campaigns, basically. I believe your site, all that. Another one is Facebook Page Insights. So when you create a page on Facebook, it's very helpful to know when your users post, and it gives you a lot of great details. But you get an idea of when people are online. So, it could be a good idea to post kind of right when it's coming up, maybe you do 11, 12, noon, something like that. So then you kind of ride this wave a little bit, so people can see your post a little longer and have more opportunity to share it for a longer time. Twitter Ads has one that's similar, that shows you kind of similar things of who's posting, when they're posting, what works for you and your business. It's more like how many times it was retweeted. It's the idea of shared amongst users and what your reach is. So also here is the Google Analytics view. You have something like this basically on your website. You can see who's returning, who's a new visitor. Not too bad there. Over here we have a bounce rate, which means basically the people who go to your homepage and then leave. I recommend, if you can, to have a WordPress site actually as a website or blog, because there's countless plugins that make it really easy to do all kinds of things. I mean, you can look up anything on there. There's Google Analytics tools. You can put a little widget that shows your traffic. You can auto post to Twitter very easily. You can easily make a little blog post.